Okay, so welcome to day 2 of Unit 5, and we're going to talk about complementary and supplementary angles and true bearing. Okay, so the first angle I want to talk about are complementary angles. So this is 2 or more angles that add up to 90 degrees. Now for our purposes, we're just going to deal with 2 angles. So if you remember, a 90-degree angle is just something, they draw a little box here just so you know that it's 90 degrees here. It's just a real right angle, 90 degrees. Makes a square. Okay, so let's say that this angle is 20 degrees. Now we know that the full angle is 90 degrees, so the complement to this angle would be 70 degrees. Now sometimes they'll write it just like I showed you. Sometimes they'll write these angles separately. And you'll see that this is 20. And they'll say, are these 2 angles complementary? And you could say the 20 plus the 70 equals 90, so yes, that they are. Okay, so next we're going to talk about supplementary angles. Now, supplementary angles are 2 or more angles that add up to 180 degrees. So, 180 degrees is just a straight line, okay? So, as you can see here on our straight line, we have 2 angles, okay? So, we're going to say that this one's about 160 degrees. And to equal 180, this one has to be 20 degrees. I realize that they're not super accurately drawn. Okay, so just like before, they can be drawn like this, where they're just wedged together, or they can be drawn separately like this, of 160 degrees here, or 20 degrees here. So we have 2 angles, they're adding up to 180 degrees. So when it comes to the math part, you're going to be looking to find the complement and to find the supplement. So to find the complement, you just subtract your known angle from 90 degrees. To find the supplement, subtract the known angle from 180 degrees. Okay, so now to actually do some math. So these are the angles given, 47 degrees. So the complement adds to 90. So we're going to take 90 minus 47, and we get 43 degrees. 90 minus 75 gives us 15. Now you'll notice that 103 and 300 are both over 90. So your answer would just be NA, not applicable, because they're too big. They're over 90, so you can't have a complement. Now if you're looking for the supplement of 47, you just take 180 minus 47, and you get 133. As you go down the list, you'll notice that 300 is over 180, so we have no supplement for that angle. Okay, so now we're talking about true bearing. So true bearing is just a clockwise angle measure starting from the north to give a direction in degrees. So what that means is true bearing, the one rule you really have to know is that it always starts from north, okay, and goes clockwise. Okay, so what are the angles that we know? North is 0, east is 90, south is 180, and west is 270 degrees. Now if we went all the way back to north, we'd get back to 360 degrees. So let's do a couple examples with this, because we're actually going to be able to break down north, east, south, and west into further smaller chunks. Okay, so when you're looking at this compass direction, you'll notice that every individual section here is 22.5 degrees. Okay? And so you'll notice that they have north, and then they go to north, northeast, northeast, east, northeast. That just means closer to east than the north. If you're closer to north, it would be north, northeast. Okay? And as you all the way go around, 22.5 degrees for every little section that's this big, okay? All the way back up to 360 degrees. So if we're talking about what's the true bearing of a boat traveling directly southwest. So if you look on here, you find your southwest direction. Starting from north, we go all the way around to southwest. And you'll see we have 225 degrees. Now if you're talking about what's the true bearing of a plane flying east-southeast, you start at north and you go until you find your east-southeast. And we go here. This is my east-southeast line. And we are at 112.5 degrees. Okay, so our last example. What is the true bearing of a hiker traveling 10 degrees south of east? Okay, so we're going to find our east. We're going from north down to east. And you'll see east is 90 degrees. Now, they're saying we're now going to go 10 degrees south. So our south direction, you'll notice south is down here. We are going to continue an extra 10 degrees. Okay? So we're going to be kind of more around here. Okay? Now to find out that number, we just add the extra 10 degrees that we traveled south. And our direction is 100 degrees.